Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to go on and talk about tonight, but first, as always, as it is Wednesday, you know what that means. We always do on Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week, only Thursday and Friday left to go before it's officially Christmas week. Halfway there, we just got to go on and continue to just get through the week, and we will be there at that weekend. But we got to get through this week first. We got to get through the rest of these days, and so we're going to talk about the weather for these days. And in terms of rainfall, it doesn't look too good. Does not look too good. Will it help out the drought? Absolutely, but will it cause some disruptions? It absolutely will as well. And we'll talk about all that. First, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so right now. It seems like around a good 6 people have tuned in, only 5 likes. So go on and hit the like button if you have not already. Also, go on and hit the subscribe button if you are new. We're at 637 right now. 637 trying to get to that main goal of 700. We are 63 away from that, and then we are 13 away from that halfway mark of 650. So we're getting closer. Let's just keep on pushing, keep on getting there, and that's what we're going to look at. Also, share with all the people that you know, friends, family members, audience, somebody that you might see at your local food line. Doesn't matter. Somebody. Go on and share it to somebody. And so that's all I have to say there in terms of the subscribers. So let's go on and talk about what are we going to talk about tonight. Well, obviously, we will go on and talk about the weather for tonight. We will talk about the weather for tomorrow. And then we will also talk about the weather for our short-term future, our long-term future. And then we will also talk about the weather for like temperatures, patterns, and stuff like that, and what we have going for us inside of the future. Fog as well being one of those. And so, starting off with what's currently going on right now throughout the state of South Carolina, it is pretty much on the dry side. Not really seeing too much in terms of rainfall right now throughout the state. So, we are good here. If we want to scroll our way out, though, see what's going on throughout the entire United States of America. Obviously, that all cannot be said. Rainfall going on in Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Louisiana also getting into some of that rainfall, as well as Arkansas, Oklahoma, and then also up here in North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, going on in Minnesota, going on in Iowa, Wyoming, Colorado, snowfall for sure going on over here in Montana, as well as some rainfall and some snowfall in Washington, and then even some more rainfall going on over here inside of the UP of Michigan, going on in Wisconsin. Now, in terms of our cloud cover for the state, everybody is covered right now. Yes, everybody is covered right now with cloud cover. That's not really a debate. You can see it right here on the map. Are there clear spots? Absolutely. But about everybody, around 99.9% of people are seeing cloud cover right now. Now, if we go and look at it for the future, though, you want to push this forward, cloud cover continues. Even as we go 24 hours out into the future, into tomorrow night, that cloud cover remains. Going into Friday morning, you can see here that cloud cover is starting to go away inside the upstate, inside of the Midlands, but the low country, Grand Strand, PD areas, still seeing that cloud cover. You go all the way to Friday afternoon, we see a little bit of a break until some more cloud covers from the upstate starts to push their way in from the north and moves their way into the more north-central part of South Carolina. Now for our current temperatures right now, 49 in Columbia, as well as 48 in Orangeburg, 48 in Somerville, and even around 50 in Georgetown, 55 in Murray's Inlet, and 54 in Myrtle Beach, 48 in Conway, 48 also inside of Florence. We also do have around 47 in Hartsville, 46 Bennettsville, 54 Charleston, and 51 in Aiken, 55 inside of Hilton Head. And we even go up here into the upstate. You have around a good 49 in Lawrence, and even 48 in Spartanburg and Greenville, 50 Clemson and Anderson, 48 in Gaffney, 47 in York, and 46 in Rock Hill. Now for your low temperatures for tonight, you have around 41 in Greenville, 39 in Spartanburg and Rock Hill, 39 also in Cheraw, 43 in Columbia, and 44 in Aiken and Barnwell, 45 inside of Orangeburg, and 48 in Moncks Corner, 52 in Charleston, 55 in Hilton Head, and 47 in Georgetown and 49 inside of Myrtle Beach. High temperatures for tomorrow, 55 up there in Greenville, 56, Spartanburg, 57 in Rock Hill, 57, Anderson, 59 in Greenwood, 63, Columbia and Camden, and 64 in Cheraw, 65 in Florence, and 66 in Barnwell, Orangeburg, Sumter, 67 inside of Walterboro, Charleston, Georgetown, Kingstree, Dillon, and even around 66 in Hilton Head Island and Myrtle Beach. Rainfall, this goes all the way from tonight through tomorrow morning and through even the next morning as well. So this goes all the way from now until Friday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. Look how much rainfall we're going to see during that time frame. Quarter of an inch to a half an inch from Greenville to Spartanburg to Anderson to Greenwood to Aiken to Kingstree to Orangeburg. Half an inch to an inch from Charleston to Walterboro to Moncks Corner to Georgetown to Myrtle Beach to Cheraw to Rock Hill. And some other areas as well, Barnwell being one of those, Sumter, Florence, all having around a half inch to an inch, and somebody in that area might even get an inch to an inch and a half. Definitely is possible. Definitely is possible. So that's for our total precipitation amount from now until 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. What's going on in terms of the crazy score for tonight? If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is inside of the state of South Carolina, and we're going to look at it for tonight. Where tonight we're actually at a 14. Why? Well, number one, you're obviously going to see those increasing and those thickening clouds overnight, and it's going to kind of have some lowering to it, lowering cloud bases towards dawn. Mild temperatures, obviously light southeasterly or calm winds, no gusty conditions. Rain chances will increase towards as we go throughout the nighttime hours, especially towards the south and east of Columbia and the lower coast and the low country area. Light showers possible. And then much warmer and more humid than recent nights. No fog or cold concerns. So that's it for tonight. That's why we're inside the calm category. SPC outlook for tonight. No thunderstorms are expected tonight. But tomorrow, thunderstorms are definitely possible for the entire state of South Carolina. Everybody inside of the state of South Carolina has a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow. So make sure that you're watching out for that. If you are inside the state, which is mostly everybody, but I mean also some other locations, like pretty much the entire state of North Carolina as well. Most of the state of Georgia, like almost the entire state of Tennessee as well. Just a lot of these areas, thunderstorms are possible. And then Friday, we kind of take a break. No more thunderstorms or anything like that. Excessive rainfall, same thing. No excessive rainfall is expected. So let's go on and look at the models. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. tonight. But if we go on and push this forward, and my keyboard just died. Okay, I'm going to have to plug this up. But you can see as we start off at 9 o'clock, look at all that rainfall that we have off the coast of Georgia. And I want you to watch as it goes on and moves its way up towards the coast of South Carolina. And this is right here at around 3 o'clock in the morning. You can see that rainfall moving in from the low country to the southern Midlands over inside the PD and the Grand Strand areas here. Then you go from 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning. You have rainfall now getting into more of that moderate rainfall rates. Goes all the way from the southern Midlands up into the actual central Midlands now at this point. It's 7 a.m. Rainfall now trying to move its way out of the low country a little bit more into like the Midlands and more into a bit of the upstate as well. You all the way to 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. rainfall. Not as heavy, especially in those coastal areas, but again, moves inside the upstate now at that point. To 1 p.m. now, you see the rainfall from the west starting to move its way in to the state. You go all the way to 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Look at all this rainfall that we have that's starting to stretch its way through. And look at those heavy rainfall rates that we have over there, especially inside of the Grand Strand and the PD areas. Again, these have the chance to produce some thunderstorms. And so it's the afternoon, which is obviously the prime time for thunderstorms to get going. Go all the way to 7 p.m. Look at how much rainfall we have here. And most of that rainfall is going to become widespread as you go towards tomorrow evening. As you get here to 8 o'clock p.m., rainfall from the low country to the Midlands to the PD to the Grand Strand to the upstate. Everybody is getting their shot for some rainfall as we go into December the 18th at 8 o'clock p.m. So tomorrow. Then we get to 9 p.m. here when I go live. And you can just see that rainfall continuing to move its way over towards the east. But look at that line. You see how it started? Look over there in Alabama and Georgia here at 9 o'clock p.m. See how it dies out as it gets more towards the state of South Carolina. And then you get all the way to around 3 a.m. This is the line. Just a bunch of just showers at that point. Nothing to really look at here. You continue even further. Then we get to 6 a.m. We get all the way to 7 a.m. here. And then, for the most part, it just looks like that we're going to remain dry for the rest of Friday. So now, what about the long-term future? What about the long-term future? I do want to go in real quick and actually look at these dew points to see if this is a cold front, and it does look like it. This is a cold front, by the way. I just want to make sure that that's known. Right here, 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday, we have this cold air, this dry air. This is not temperatures, by the way. Not temperatures. This is dry air. You can see that cold front moving its way through all the way on Friday going into Friday morning going into Friday afternoon. And you can see those winds start to shift. And when they shift, obviously we're going to have some breezy conditions going on Friday. So watch out for that. And if you want to look at these temperatures right here, you could definitely see the temperatures and how they go down. I mean, we're having, all the way down into the high 40s in the upstate, while the low country and the PD areas right here at 4 a.m. are still inside the 60s. Still having some fun out there at the nighttime hours. But once you get to around 8 o'clock a.m., 9 o'clock in the morning here on Friday, those temperatures will drop. And so it will be kind of like a morning drop. Even, for example, you're going to school or you're going to work or something like that. It's going to be dropping while you're out there. And then obviously once it gets to around the afternoon, it's not going to get any warmer than that on Friday, but it's only going to get to like the mid 50s or so. But that's it in terms of the short-term future. Now the long-term future. You want to push this forward. We're going to look at just convection or rainfall first. You want to push this forward all the way through. We just stay nice and dry. We have some rainfall maybe trying to move in a little bit on December the 23rd, a couple of days before Christmas. But the 25th, nice and dry. We're going to have a dry, just a dry. After we're done with this system right here, get through Friday, it's going to be dry. And not going to be too much rainfall, which obviously is not great for our drought concern. But looks like the next major system to try and come in is over 300 hours, so this will change. But this is right here on December the 30th, right here on the 31st as well. And we have a cold front that could potentially be trying to move in on New Year's. So, bit interesting, maybe a breezy New Year's, but again, 350 hours out or so. And after that, it just looks like it's going to stay more on that quiet side as we get past Christmas and even as we're going on towards Christmas. But if we want to look at the anomalies here, obviously there goes the cold front right there pushing its way through on Friday. And you go on and continue our way through all the way to the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd, maybe a little cold front here as well on the 22nd. If I can go in and look at the dew points. Another little cold front trying to push its way through on the 21st, going to the 22nd. Then we get towards Christmas. We just stay more on the warmer end for Christmas. Then we go all the way to the after Christmas, a couple of days after. We get a bit cooler again for some more cool air trying to come through. And then another huge cold front trying to push in, like I said, New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day. But again, too far out there to talk about. And even if you want to look at the actual temperatures as well, like for example, on Christmas, if you want a warm Christmas, 70s looks like that's going to be the main story for us on Christmas Day. So 70s on Christmas. Usually, I forgot where we were last year. I actually can go on and check out my phone and check and see what my temperatures were for Christmas last year. But I know it was cold. It was a bit chilly out there. Well, I don't think it was 70 degrees warm. But if I go back on and check real quick, I can go all the way to my history, go to year, actually do month, go all the way back to December of 2024, go to the Christmas week, go to day, low of 32.5, so not quite at freezing, but like around like 0.5 degrees above, and then a high of only 54. So this is a 15 to 20 degree increase from what we saw last year. If this was to happen right here, a 15 to 20 degree increase for temperatures on Christmas this year. And you even go back and look at Christmas Eve, highs were even lower, but Christmas Eve, it doesn't, I mean, maybe some high 60s, mid 60s for some, but it's really going to be Christmas Day that's going to be the warmer of the two. But we continue that even more into the future. I mean, that warm air just continues until we get a bit after Christmas, all the way to the 28th to the 29th. Look at these cooler temperatures start to move in. It won't last long, as we'll get back into the mid 70s potentially, going just right after that little cold blast moves through. Not going to take long. And then we get into the 31st into January the 1st, and you can see maybe something below freezing temperatures for some. Just something to look out for. But that's all that I have in terms of the long-term future. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go on and see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with my Aunt Lula first. She says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Mr. Chris says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also share. It's free to do so. He's absolutely correct. Right now, seems like we have a good 11 people tuned in and only 9 likes right now. If you are part of that 2 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. My Aunt Lula comes back and says, I pray that everyone had a wonderful day. Thank you for that. I can say that it was so nice in Georgetown. Did a lot of yard work. It was actually a tolerable day today. I actually could go outside, wear a hoodie, and not be freezing to death outside. And so it was tolerable. Probably could have taken off the hoodie as well and still have been fine, but I just kept it on. My Aunt Shirley comes in and says, good evening and blessings to all. Well, thank you so much for that. And then continue our way down. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says, was nice and clear until this afternoon. Started getting cloudy. Currently, it's 54 here in Musk Corner and cloudy. Well, thank you so much for that weather report for where you are. Right now, where I am, it says my older weather station says around 50.7. 50.7. But for the most part, if I go in and look at my new one, I'm going to get that one pulled up right now. The new one, there we go, says it's around 52. 51 now at 51.4. So just dropped. So both at around 51, around 0.8 degrees off. Around 0.8 degrees off. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Thank you for all that you've done. The lights look gorgeous. Well, no problem. Got out there, if you remember a couple of days ago, I showed a picture of the lights that I put up at my Nana's house. We put some more out there. She has some pictures. If she, actually, if you can go in and send them to me, I could show them tomorrow, possibly. But if you go in and send those to me, so we can go in and show that tomorrow. Cheryl says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. And then Mr. Chris says, wow, I can't believe that we're going to have spring-like temperatures for Christmas. Definitely looking more and more likely. Definitely looking more and more likely. You know, we're getting to that 188 degree range or so. So we really are getting into that range to where we just really, it might actually happen. You know, weather's constantly changing. Things will change. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if it took a complete nosedive down. But right now, it looks like 70s definitely are looking like the more likely scenario. And that's all that I can see here. My cousin Thad also sent me a text, says I'm driving right now, but I'm listening. And I just wanted you to know that it was a nice wet day here in San Antonio. The temperature is up a bit. It's about, I don't know what this last part is. It says it's about, well, I'm not sure. But I'm here. It's 64. So thank you so much for that, first off. But for that weather report, and also thank you for listening tonight. Even while you're driving, obviously, you know, you're supposed to be paying attention. So, I do like that you're out there focusing on that. But 64, I will go on and talk about San Antonio actually right now. If you don't know why we talk about 4 locations outside of South Carolina, being San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma, It's because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly and their locations aren't the main one being talked about, we appreciate them for that, and we go on and do the forecast. So we start off with San Antonio first, with low temperatures tonight at 59, high temperatures tomorrow at 79, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 45. Patchy drizzle is expected tonight and tomorrow morning, and areas of fog definitely are possible tonight and tomorrow. So it's going to be moist. It's not going to be like rainy, like, oh, it's going to be downpours and stuff like that, but it's going to be like enough to where, you'll see, obviously, the roads might be a little wet, the car might be a little wet, outside. It's just going to be wet, but it's not going to be, heavy downpours or even a shower just in general. Now, in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, all of that, for right now, it looks like that you are good in terms of severe weather. So nothing really to look for here for you. Now, what about excessive rainfall? Excessive rainfall also being the next area of concern. But right now, it's looking like that you are good in terms of all excessive rainfall threats. Raleigh, North Carolina being the second location that we talk about, with low temperatures tonight at 37, high temperatures tomorrow at 63, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 54. Precipitation is not expected tonight, but tomorrow during the day, rain is likely, and tomorrow night, rain is expected. So you will see rainfall tomorrow night for sure. And some of that could potentially have some energy enough to be a thunderstorm. So that's also something to look out for as well. But in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, you're good there. Nothing really to talk about for you there. For Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight at 27, high temperatures tomorrow at 45, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 43. No precipitation is expected tonight or tomorrow, but tomorrow night, rain is expected again. There's pretty much like no chance that it's going to be dry, going to be rainy tomorrow night. And not only that, but it also will be breezy tomorrow night as well. And with that, there also comes a chance for that patchy freezing fog. So not only will it be hard to see, but it will also be freezing, which means that could potentially set up a black ice scenario, especially on those bridges as well. So if you're driving on there, gotta make sure that you're paying attention for that, because you have the moisture, and then you also have it being freezing as well. That fog moisture, especially like I said on those high bridges, will for sure try to cause some black ice out there on the roadways. And so that, and then also you're barely going to be able to see as well with fog, just sets up a recipe for disaster there. So just make sure that if you are going out, that you're watching out for that. That's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania here. But in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, nothing really expected here. And so next up, the final one being Duncan, Oklahoma. Low temperatures tonight at 46, high temperatures tomorrow at 61, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 31. No precipitation tonight or tomorrow, but patchy fog is expected tonight. There is a fire risk. We talked about this last night, but fire risk for Thursday and Friday. You're going to have to watch out for that fire concern. If you don't have to burn anything Thursday going into Friday, please don't. Just would probably be the better option. But that includes like Lawton, that includes Oklahoma City, Ponca City, going inside Stillwater, Tulsa, and just a lot of the other locations as well. And so that's it in terms of these four areas. No excessive rainfall also for Duncan as well. I don't see anything else here in terms of these four areas to really look out for. Let's go and look at the top fans for the night tonight. Seems like I believe Mr. Chris was here at number 1 again tonight, keeping his streak alive of being the top fan of the night for a bunch of days in a row now. My Aunt Lou is at number 2, and then my Aunt Shirley is number 3. So congratulations to the three of y'all for being the top fans of the night tonight. Mr. Chris coming in and says, everyone have a great night, stay safe and warm and hydrated. That's absolutely correct. And then let me go on and check out my Gmail, see if we have any pictures here that I need to show for tonight. Go back over to the scweather360@gmail.com. Email again, that is the scweather360@gmail.com. So go on and send any weather picture that you have. Looks like right now nothing here, so we're gonna go on and end it off there. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also hit the subscribe button if you're new. 637, trying to get to 700. You can share it with somebody, friends, family members, acquaintances, people you don't like. I mean, you have Christmas tree lightings and Christmas parade going on. You can go on and walk around and say, hey, there's this dude on YouTube. He goes around, he does weather forecasts, all that kind of stuff for the entire state of South Carolina. One of the most accurate, one of the most accurate weathermen that I've seen. I'm joking on that last part, but you can go on and tell them about that, and that will go on and get the subscriber count up. But that's just a suggestion, obviously not required or anything like that. But that's all. So again, I'll be back tomorrow morning for your Thursday morning forecast update. Make sure that you tune in there. Also, tomorrow night, drought predictions will be coming out tomorrow night. So make sure that you're there for that, for our drought update at 9 o'clock p.m. Also, Mr. Chris, I do appreciate that message. And that's all. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening, 9 o'clock p.m. with your Thursday forecast update.